my badass boys and badass babes, it is your B-A-double-D bad girl of the Black Hills herself, Virgo the Vixen. And of course, hit those likes and subscribe buttons wherever you're at. Today, we are going to be doing the first of a two-part series, okay? These videos are going to be called American commercials, all right? For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about American commercials and how much they kind of suck, okay? Because let's face it, as Americans, our commercials suck, they blow, they are just not that great. And this week, I'm going to be focusing on the Super Bowl commercials, which is our only saving grace. And that's why I'm wearing my favorite jersey for my favorite NFL team, okay, the Miami Dolphins. So, for those of you who don't know what football is, it's just oversimplification. 11 guys beating each other up on a field for 60 minutes, and the team with the most points wins the game. Now, to be fair, I do love watching football. I am a Dolphins fan. I'm not a Jets fan, thank God, because those guys really suck. But then again, I have to give props to my Dolphins for screwing shit up again. Oh my God, could you not, how can we say this, invest in an O-line and a quarterback who isn't injured prone? And for the guy who backs up our star quarterback who is injured prone, can you do us a favor and throw that damn ball to the guy who's making $25 million plus a year? You heard me. You have a wide receiver that's making more than $25 million. We can't even get him the ball. The guy is like lightning on the field, and we couldn't figure out this magical formula. All right, let me get back to the subject at hand. I'm going too far off. All right, football. Lots of great butts. That's why I watch it. Why not? I mean, I get to see all the butts on all these guys, and I gotta tell you, there's a lot of cute backfields. Okay. I'll focus. Today, we're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl commercials, the one time of the year where America actually has some decent commercials. Now, why do I say our commercials suck? And I'm going to tell you why I think our commercials suck before I get into why I think the Super Bowl commercials are amazing. First of all, let's face it, I've seen commercials from Europe which are technically banned here in the United States for some odd reason, maybe because it's too funny, maybe it's good, I don't know. But let me give you an example of a commercial. Or maybe the subject is not what we deem as appropriate because we're a bunch of prudes over here in America and we can't talk about certain things like condoms. I'll give you an example of a great condom commercial that I saw, and it's probably one of the best commercials I've ever saw in my life. Here's what the commercial was. There was a guy, this kid's about 3-ish. They're going through a supermarket. The guy's just putting stuff off the shelf into his cart, going down his shopping list. The kid sees candy. He takes the bag of candy, puts it in the cart. Father puts it back. And this cycle goes on for about 3 or 4 times where the kid's grabbing the candy. Father puts it back. Blah, blah, blah. The kid is now starting to get antsy, start throwing a tantrum. The guy picks up the kid, puts it on the ground. He's just going full tilt diva style meltdown. Runs down the aisle, smashing everything he can off the shelf. Then the voiceover comes over and says this: next time, you should have used condoms. And then it goes into the brand of condoms like, oh my God, that is the best commercial hands down. Because over here in America, we're one of the few countries, if not the only country, that advertises, and I'm not kidding you this, medication for antidepressants and other medical conditions. That, I'm not kidding you. And I'm going to steal a little bit of material from one of my favorite comedians, Christopher Titus, to set the premise on what he was talking about during his comedy bit on this one. He was talking about how there is an antidepressant, and with this antidepressant, one of the possible side effects, and these are how these commercials are. Here in America, these commercials for these antidepressants have side effects that are possibly worse than the condition you're going through. And he was pointing out, and I love this, how this possible side effect on this one particular anti-medication was suicidal thoughts or tendencies. And I want you to think about how stupid that is. The medication that's supposed to make you feel better about yourself and or the world is causing you to even have worse emotions or feelings. Yeah, that's the kind of commercials we got, except for the one time of year that is called the Super Bowl. That is in this month. It is coming up here shortly. And the Super Bowl commercials are fabulous. More people are starting to watch the commercials than the game. And I think this year, there's a lot of people who are going to be watching the commercials more than the game because Not too many people want to see the Chiefs win, even though they are. I got to give the Chiefs credit. They are a great team. Philadelphia, not really care about them so much. I'm like, I guess got to be honest. I'm here to watch the commercials. Anyways, let me tell you about the Super Bowl commercials. They run an average between $7 to $8 million a commercial. And if you're spending $7 to $8 million for a 30-second, this is the average price, for a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl, you're putting your best foot forward. You're not putting some low-rent garbage stuff. You are putting your best foot forward. And these commercials are awesome. Oh my God, the beer companies, and this is the funny thing, the beer companies by far run the best commercials. And if you look at the history of the most funniest ranked Super Bowl commercials, you will see that the beer companies actually get their shit together and produce some fabulous commercials that hands down are the tops every year, if not the best ones. But don't get me wrong, there are other companies like Soda Pop. Some soda companies actually do a good job. I've seen, obviously, I think that's about it. I'm going to be honest, there's not too many thing else. Even though I've seen a band commercial, and this one was banned. It was for a candy, and I got to tell you, the way they did it, I can understand why it's banned here in America, but the commercial was funny as hell, and they should have played it. I'm just saying, I don't want to mention the candy because they ain't paying me enough, or they ain't paying me at all. But anyways, Super Bowl commercials are awesome because they bring out the best. And it's that one time, a glorious year, where our commercials on TV don't suck. And I'm going to give you an example of one of my favorite Super Bowl commercials, or just a series of commercials. And this, I know it makes me look dated, makes me look old, but I enjoyed it, and that was with the Budweiser lizards, okay? Or I should say the Budweiser frogs, then you have the lizards on the counterpart. You had the Budweiser frogs going Bud, Wise, and Then you have the lizards over here who are just, one of them is plotting the destruction of the frogs. The other one is just, he's just chill. He's just trying to convince his friend. And these commercials to me are hilarious. We've had, like I said, the beer commercials, hands down, some of the best. Even though I got to give credit to the, how do I want to say this? The motor vehicle companies in America and across the world who advertise here in America, you guys' commercials are getting better, okay? I will give you credit. During the Super Bowl, you guys pull out some great commercials. So, now with that being said, I think as Americans, we're missing the mark here. We shouldn't have to be waiting for the Super Bowl to enjoy our best commercials, okay? Even though the Super Bowl produces, like I said, if you're spending almost $8 million on ads, you better damn well bring your A game. But I think we're missing out on some of the best things about these commercials, and that is the celebrities. You don't believe me? They bring out the A-list celebrities to do these commercials. These are not like some extra that they, you can pay like a few bucks and maybe a sandwich. These are A-list celebrities. Because I remember one year I saw Patrick Stewart, Harrison Ford. I mean, I saw some really good names there. I think I saw Beyonce in a couple of them. I mean, we're talking some really good names out there. Katy Perry, I mean, we're talking music, movies. They bring out the A-listers for these commercials. Again, when you're paying $7 to $8 million, and that's not on the commercial, that's just on the time slot to get your commercial on, you're going to bring out the best of the best. And that is another reason why I think as Americans, it just suffers, because during the year, we don't get these guys. We just get some random person doing a commercial, which I kind of have to say just blows, because we as Americans, and this is just my arrogant American belief, we deserve better commercials. And I think in order to help with that, I want to just let you know, if this part gets to Senator Bernie Sanders, Bernie, first of all, I love you. Second of all, I think you should do commercials. And I'm going to tell you quickly as my reasoning behind why I think Bernie Sanders should do commercials for boner pills, okay? Let me give you an example of why I think Bernie should do this. First of all, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we had a famous politician here in America by the name of Bob Dole. He was from the great state of Kansas. And I got to tell you something, as a senator, he was dull, he was boring. He made vanilla ice cream look exciting. That's how boring he was. All right, but when he left the U.S. Senate and started doing commercials for boner pills, I'm going to tell you, he did a good job. And if you don't believe me, Just YouTube Bob Dole and certain like blue pill medication that will name nameless because they're not paying me anything. So you just put that into your YouTube YouTube Finder. You're gonna find some interesting commercials. This is when America actually had some decent commercials where it just wasn't sucking all the time. But Bernie, I want you to do a commercial. I think a lot of Americans, whether you agree with his politics or not, I think it would be hilarious to see an old man do this. Today, I am here to talk about the injustice of the 1% and the pharmaceutical company that has kept American men, regardless of economical status, from achieving the best boner that they can. I am tired of seeing inequality in a boner medication. That is why today I am here to advertise my full endorsement for a medication called What's Up. What's Up is guaranteed to make you feel longer, stronger, and last longer for your pleasure. And every partner, regardless of economical status, deserves to be pleased. I personally think Bernie should be doing a commercial like that. I think that whatever, product, and I just made that one up, should hire Bernie Sanders to do it. I think they should convince him to leave the Senate. Dude's getting too old. Sorry, Bernie. I love you. I love what you're doing. But at the same time, man, come on. Realism. Come on, leave, man. Leave while you still can. Just saying. Let's get back to the Super Bowl commercials. I have seen some, like I said, beer commercials, hands down. We had Buzz McKenzie growing up. We had him. Had the Budweiser Frogs. I'll give you an example of a soda commercial, and I love this one. And like I said, in America, usually our commercials suck, but this one was amazing. Okay, you see the guy lay down this big 2-liter soda, lays down a huge sandwich, okay? The dog, you see the dog just mysteriously come up out of nowhere, takes this 2-liter soda, takes the sandwich, and on the empty plate, he puts the cat there. This is funny shit, okay? I am loving this. And because during the Super Bowl, the worst part is you have to watch the whole damn thing. You can't just come in the middle and expect to see commercials that were at the beginning, because I guarantee you only get to see them once. However, what they do is, in most, some kind of YouTube channel like mine will gather them together, compile the best ones, but trust me, you want to watch the commercials from beginning to end because there is a lot of good stuff. So let's review. First of all, American commercials suck ass. There's just no way around it. I'm trying to be all too polite. Number 2, the Jets suck. I don't care if you're a Jets fan, you're watching this. I'm a Dolphins fan. Your team sucks. Okay, let's face it. You spent $50 million on a quarterback for the last 2 years, and you got, 7 wins out of that? So just keep that in mind. Number 3, Bernie Sanders. If somehow, Bernie, you're watching this, seriously, dude, leave the Senate, start doing commercials for ED medications. You're going to be great. 4th, we overpay for Super Bowl commercial ads. There's no question. If you're paying $7 to $8 million on average, just around 30-second ads, and you're not even, so that's not even the cost of what the commercial costs, there's something wrong with you folks. And finally, I think as Americans, and this is the part I think we really need to focus on, is we need to stop being prudish when it comes to our commercials and lighten up. Okay, seriously. We can get off the antidepressant medication because, like I said, I understand why we're doing this because that's where the money is. But at the same time, we as Americans, we deserve to have commercials that are funny. And I'll tell you to end with this story. I will give you an example of one of the I'll give you 2 commercials. One was banned and the other was not. And I'll start with the other one that was not, the one that was aired. Now, I've only seen this once, and I was watching just TV, and all of a sudden this commercial came on. All right, there are 3 guys on a golf course, okay? This is about the early to mid 2000, between 2000 and 2010. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, I'm watching TV, 3 guys on a golf course. All right, this guy's phone rings. It has this cutesy little ringtone. It's his girlfriend. He starts talking to his girlfriend, starts doing baby talk to her. Oh, baby, I love you. All that cute little baby talk that makes the rest of us sick. So what does one of his friends do? He grabs the phone out of his hands, puts it in the golf ball cleaner, and just goes to town on the phone. The phone, you can hear, is dying. And then it says, did your beer just get darker? And then goes into the commercial for which beer it is. And it talks about how this one beer that normally isn't dark, now it has a dark flavored beer. Okay, and then at the end, you see the guy's phone, you hear it, that little cutesy ringtone again. You see the same friend who killed the phone the first time in the ball cleaner, just grab the phone, put the phone on the ground, and just tease it off down the fairway. Funniest damn commercial I have seen on TV. Now, the second commercial that came out of America that I am going to talk about that got banned, that really needed to be, I think, aired, was, okay, there is a date, a very young couple. He's dropping her off. They've had a good date. He puts his arm against the door, and he is trying to convince her to do a sexual act on him. And, you know, it has this music in the background. All of a sudden, it's like someone pulling the needle off a record. And it just said, you know, for this guy's comment, a 99 bottle of wine. And here he is trying to convince her to do a certain sexual act, and she's shooting him down. And then it says, like, for him to say this, another bottle, $99 bottle of wine. All right. And out of nowhere, here the guy's leaning on the door frame. She's, you know, the girl is just, you know, shooting him down. She's not really into do a certain sexual act. Her little sister comes out. And this is what the little sister says. And I love this. She goes, Dad says to go ahead and give him a blowjob. Or I'll give him a blowjob. Or if he has to, Dad will come down here and give him a blowjob. But can you please tell your boyfriend to get his hand off the intercom? And then the voiceover goes again. A father who has this kind of sense of humor, priceless. So my badass boys and badass babes, hopefully you learned something today about American commercials, because next week I'm going to be tackling the commercials that we as Americans see during Valentine's Day. So, as always, who's your vixen? Bye-bye.